Hey y'all, what's up? What's good? The moon is in Gemini, honey. So let's go ahead and talk about the transits, because that's really why I'm here. Moon and Gemini. So the moon, your emotions, how you feel, the reactions, the things that you just kind of feel to do, and you can feel differently because the mood can change, how the moon cycle changes, because it changes pretty fast. That is in an area of mutable air. So adapting to your own and other people's ways of intellect, communicating, thinking, from a sense of what's familiarity. Language itself is a familiarity. If you're not familiar with it, then you will not know that language. That is on the other side of the sun. So the reactions, is a bit, you're reacting in a more communicative way, whether it's with words or not, because body language is a thing. And honey, leave it with Gemini, bitch. We'll think that we are reading your mind just based off a little body language, just off of a bit of what that bitch said. That bitch didn't say nothing, but she looked a certain kind of way, and in your mind, that's where the conversation was held. It was more like an internal chitty chatter. And the moon itself is already going to deal with, internal matters, like the emotional and feelings of it all. So that's on the other side of the sun, where our actions are more cardinal. So it's more initiative, based on a feeling, based off a mood, and based off just in the moment, what is going to be created to be new about this feeling, not necessarily to stay in the same little, stagnant, not moving water. Having a water that's cardinal, that's initiative, that this is, the water that plants seeds type things, not just, the water that for any old thing. This is the water that when you, drink that water, this is the water to initiate your thirst being quenched type vibe. So working with that and working with your emotions and feeling chatty, feeling, oh, okay, this is a communication, not just a communication that you feel, but you also feel is a duty and obligation, because it's conjuncting Vesta, which is in Gemini right now. So your task, your duty, your obligations is going to come about in a mutable airway, where it doesn't just have to do with a duty just for you. These are duties that can and will involve other motherfuckers, with other motherfuckers in mind. As I speak, moving my vehicle out the way so a fire truck can get through, because bitch, that's just the thought that I have as it relates to other motherfucker in a moment. Mercury, as it relates to this transit, Mercury is the ruling motherfucking the Lord Almighty when it comes to goddamn Gemini. And Mercury is in the sign of, I want to say Mercury is in Leo. So yeah, Mercury is in Leo and Venus is in Leo. So it's sextiling the moon right now. So the opportunities with that is going to be in a way to set the stage for these communication, or try to be the center stage, or having communication about things that are center stage. Not just, any old thing, not just somebody's imagination, something that we can actually see on stage, something that is being set up for a stage in someone's life, or a physical stage, like the stage that you are in, the stages of when to add water and when not to add water, when it comes to this cardinal, sun in a water sign, when it comes to initiating and creating a whole new way with the water, with those emotions, and then having that relate to Mercury and Venus, because what you want on stage, and you're thinking about this, and it's something that you're valuing and compromising with, and having these communications about how it can be on stage, conversations where or just thoughts in general about people, places, and things that you just want to put in a stage in your life, and the emotions that's coming up behind that. And then that sextile in the moon, whereas though it can be opportunities to really have that internal chatter, have that mental chatter about the values and things that you want to compromise with as it relates to those stages, because you're focusing on it, and you're focusing not on the feeling of it, not just the feeling of it, but also the feeling and the seeing of it, like how it would feel and how it can be seen. And you're focused on that because Leo is fixed in its modality. So it's not cardinal like where the sun is right now, where we're initiating and creating new, and it's not mutable like the moon right now, where it's adapting to your own and other people's way, is fixated. And that's where Venus and Mercury is at. So fixated in a fire sign, where you can just be really fixed on a vision of how you see things, of how you see and feel about things, this next stage, and understanding that you're not the only one who has a fixated vision of how they want to see, feel, and express. And having that on your mind, like valuing being expressive, valuing being expressive, being a personality, expressing what it is that not only you value, but what's on your motherfucking mind, bitch. Express those things. And realize that you can't, be center stage, and other people may look at you as trying to make things center stage or all about you. And really, they may just be seeing the transits play out through you. So don't get too washed up, in how somebody sees and feels something in the moment. Because that just can be the thoughts and the value that they've come to a compromisation with. I don't know if that's a word, but I feel like it should be a compromisation, where you compromise like what relationships would do, like when you have a relationship with someone, and the act of compromising and it actually being executed. I feel like the word for that should be compromisation. May or may not be a word. So that's Mercury and Venus. Mars is in Virgo. So to the moon right now, that's a square. That's a 90-degree angle. And it's a mutable square where you are... I was about to say that. Is it, kind of a little squared up right now? But nothing's in Sagittarius, and what was in Scorpio is slowly moving out of Scorpio. So yeah, right now the moon is squaring Mars. So this is like learning, being frustrated, getting into the actual logic behind how to build on your motivation, your intent, your the determination that you have towards things, or things that you've just determined that that's where you're going to apply your willpower. That is meeting a 90-degree angle with your feelings, whereas the Take your time. Take your time. Because this is not like a waxing moon square. This is a waning moon square going into a Cancer new moon. So you don't want to, put in too much passion, put in too much. Learn with this mutable square with Gemini and Virgo how to worry less about the thoughts and the communication, and if things is coming off the right way, or whatever it is that you are thinking. And before you allow for it to become worrisome, recognize it and apply just as much as what the moon is giving, which is like, girl, can you see me, can you not, at this point? Because it's about to be a new moon and it's only a slitherine of what is there. So before you put so much into what it is that you're motivated and passionate about, and you are worrying about it, and you got it on a routine, and you got it on some sort of like pattern where it's a habit of some sort, don't let your mind get the best of the situation and make something that is simply a routine, a pattern, make that into something that you worry about. But like in moderation. Like, don't worry about it so much because it's a waning square. If it was a waxing square, then like that bit of worrying, that little extra it may be frustrating, but that's that square element. Like, but when it's waning, it's going to frustrate you still, but it's going to frustrate you just based off how much you can't actually get out of the situation, or how much you can't actually see the execution of like what it is that your goal was, what you were motivated to do, and how that was on your mind, because it's waning. So this is a time that you want to put in less, because you're in a sense kind of protecting, like you're in that vulnerable moment right before things is accumulated to be more. Like, my grandmother used to say this very often, that trouble don't last always. And it was just more so just her saying, like, the issues and shit that be happening, like, that shit does not last forever. Like, at some point, roses will bloom tomorrow. That was the whole saying. Like, at some point, you'll have your flowers, and you'll have, an abundance at that point, where you'll be able to, do what you please with those things. So as trouble is occurring, as frustration is occurring, just know that it doesn't last always. And to really get into the waning part of it, so that you're not walking around with a chip on your shoulder and you're closing yourself off from Mars and the moon. And the moon is like the heart chakra, and you fucking around with Mars, which likes to, travel between the first house and the 8th house. So you don't want to be so concentrated on things as it relates to your desires and what you want to, have birth out into the world. You don't want to concentrate on that so much that you're blocking your heart chakra from being open, honey, to relaxing and not being worried, because you can be concentrating on your desires so much that you literally can take yourself out of the game. Like, you done worried yourself into Shepherd Pratt. Like, it gives, like, very much, like, you done took something that was so like low vibrational and made it highly important, when right now you should kind of be in a space of low vibration as it relates to the amount of energy that you're putting into Gemini like things like communication. Like, keep those things kind of, still have your personality be expressed, but don't allow for what you're expressing with your personality, because you value it, and all of that Mercury influence with the moon right now and being in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, and then Mercury being in Leo along with goddamn Venus. Don't allow all of those things and those stages that you want to present and express and think about and value and communicate these things as a value, and see a talent in that, and see a gift in that, and see, you know, how you want to compromise and just appreciate in that way, because it's a stage, and it's a stage being set. Don't allow for all of that to, you know, take you off your game, whereas though you're expressing so much that it can come off a bit distasteful, because you may be doing too much literally in a time that the moon ain't about to be doing much at all. It's about to chill out, and it's about to be a new moon in its home sign. And bitch, if I'm a fast moving motherfucker and I'm just getting home, bitch, when I'm home, don't ask me for a motherfucking thing. The motherfuckers in that house can barely ask me for a motherfucking thing, let alone just depending on how much you've drained yourself, how much you've given yourself. So yeah, hopefully no one's in that position, and that you follow the transits, you know, close enough to acknowledge, like, you know what, let me not do too much or say too much, because if I'm up way too much, I'm out of touch. Niggas is gonna call me Kanye. Niggas is gonna say, like, bitch, you're swaying, you don't have all the answers. It's gonna be a whole bunch of that, just because you weren't on top of the fact that, you know what, let me not say too much or do too much, and just going along with, like, yeah, these are the goals that I have in mind, but how can these things be fine-tuned just like from where it is that I'm at type vibe. So that's Mars. From Mars, let's go to Jupiter, and Jupiter is in motherfucking Taurus, and is there with Uranus. So it's like unique experiences, or experiencing things uniquely, rebellious experiences, chaotic motherfucking experiences, your wisdom being unique, having a unique sense of wisdom about yourself in a way that is either stable or motherfucking stubborn. Because you can be like uniquely wise, but bitch, didn't nobody want to know that. Like, you the only one wise in that subject matter. I did not want to be wise in crackology and the ways of the world as it comes to motherfucking heroin. Like, that's not where I want to be my unique wisdom at, and that is why it can come off as rebellious to other motherfuckers, because like, yo, every experience is, I was not expecting that is very unique. Like, I was very out of the box. That was a change for real. Like, that's not where my expertise, what I have to teach, my wisdom, it doesn't lie in those areas. But again, like, that's just from personal experience. That's just from your own experience, from your own ways of going about your experiences and things like that, where you can have a very unique wisdom. But how is that unique wisdom, motherfucker, how is that going to make us the money with Taurus? You going to jiggle that motherfucking wisdom? Is you going to uniquely jiggle your wisdom? Are you going to find a unique way to jiggle that wisdom Because, like, honey, bitch, Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is sitting in Leo as well. Like, girl, get to the stage. Can we get to the stage? Can we get to the stage that we're at in life? Can we get to the physical stage? Let there be that you are an artist of some sort. Girl, how you hating outside the club? Bitch, you're not even on the stage yet. And that be the piece for me. That be the piece of hateration for me. Like, how dare you, bitch, hate outside the club that your bitch ass didn't even sign up on the sign up sheet to get your ass in. If you don't mind your hating ass motherfucking business. That's what Jupiter and Uranus is giving. Like, these experiences, bitch, you better get into the motherfucking business of being wise or unwise about your motherfucking stability. Being wise or unwise about how it is that you are focused on your goddamn practicality and what you want to see grow on that motherfucking stage, bitch. And Saturn is like retrograde in Pisces with girl retro as Neptune. And honey, like, is Saturn retrograde yet? I want to say Saturn is retrograde as well. I know they're both in Pisces, but I gotta double check on the retrograde part. But yeah, like, that gaining stability, gaining your practicality, getting on your 1-2 and having a 1-2 about yourself, that, you know, it's going to be hard for motherfuckers to knock off that status, to knock off that was being built type vibe. That for you to be able to actually do that heavy lifting, to lift with your motherfucking knees, bitch, and not your motherfucking back, where you don't have to be bending over and breaking your motherfucking back for somebody, bitch. Lift with your knees. Lift with your knees, bitch. Lift with what you known for. Get into the knees, bitch. Fuck that, my neck, my back. Bitch, ski. Like, if you see me and you try not to see what's up, ski. Act like you know what you known for, ski. That whole song just gives, like, bitch, like, you better have a practicality about yourself. You better know what the fuck is up. Lift with your knees, bitch, not your fucking back. Lifting with your back is bending over. Bending over. You already relating too much, and now you trying to put all that stress on your motherfucking back to carry the load for other motherfuckers that too can carry said load. Oh, bitch. Live with them knees. And hopefully you got bad knees and you known for some bad shit. Because your knees bad. Because you got a bad reputation. And it can be a bit delusional. Like, what you known for? Girl, you may be trying to lift some shit with the motherfucking knees. You probably trying to put your neck, your back, and your knees into that shit. Knowing you motherfucking delusional and you need help. That be the part. Like, the mutables is always going to pull it in to remind of the other. The cardinal and the fix is always like, cardinal is like, bitch, fuck you. And then the fix is like, don't like. Two sides of, isn't Big Sean a fucking Aries? Fuck you. Or is that YG? I told my niggas, I said, fuck you. And the niggas that you came with. All in the section shooting my shit. You ain't stunned what you doing, ho. Taking pictures on Instagram, but you don't know me, though. Something gotta look like money. Hustler of the year could write a book about money. Ooh, something trying to press these hoes with your re-up money. You trying to, you're about to fuck yourself up trying to impress these hoes with your re-up money, and that's the delusion. How practical can you be? How much are you known for? You really gonna have to get down on them knees at that point. You gonna have to get down and lay down Because, bitch, you done fucked up trying to impress motherfuckers with that status, that delusional ass status, and it could have been creative. It could have been very spiritual, like, you know, you and the niggas that you came with. Cause y'all all up in the section drinking somebody's shit, but you ain't doing shit. Like, YG said it best. YG broke down that. From the book of motherfucking YG, yo. Stop trying to pop these bottles trying to impress these hoes. Cause that's the delusion, yo. That's the delusion with the motherfucking baby daycare money. Not even the re-up money. You was straight on the re-up. You then fucked up the baby's daycare money. And wonder why Chitchat Andre is somewhere cussing you the fuck out. Because, like, you're doing dumb shit, and it's, like, you can't do dumb shit and then get mad at Chitchat Andre because she wants to cuss you out. That's your relationship. Fine. I'm gonna get cussed out for being dumb, and realize, like, nobody is going to accept your motherfucking stupidity, and if they do, bitch, you done found a true one that's going to gain all the practicality out of a motherfucking delusion. A true one. But alright, y'all, those are that's what I wanted to say. Now, related to the moon, let me go back to Taurus with Jupiter there. Related to the moon with the Jupiter on the other side, it's more of like a fatal, attraction type thing. Now with Pisces, honey, that's another square element. That's another square and that's the frustration. That's why Chitchat Andre is frustrated. Because of that. You done fucked up the baby daycare money trying to impress these hoes. And Chitchat Andre probably didn't even care that you was out at the club with hoes. It was just the getting back to the delusion that you have found yourself into creatively, being so much of a spirit. You're giving teen motherfucking spirit. You're such a spirit. You're such an individual that you as an individual then said fuck the other individuals in your life, and that's the delusion. Because how is that ever going to be fucking something that we can build on if it's always you building with other motherfuckers just to say fuck said other motherfuckers and be in it for yourself? That's a delusion. That's a motherfucking delusion as it relates to goddamn stability, bitch. Like, ain't nobody gonna be stable fucking around with that delusion. And once that is rectified, you can take your spiritual ass and gain all the goddamn stability. And hopefully Chitchat Andre is watching this, because, like, if she just gets hop in that spiritual bag real quick and be like, you know what, I'm an individual, this motherfucker's an individual, and as individuals, we have thoughts and feelings that our spirit, fucks with. And we have spaces. Bitch, your spirit is your space, and you know what you want in and out of your space. And Diamante might just be out your space for a moment. He might just be out your space. Now, y'all have kids together, so how far out the space can he really be, Chitchat Andre? We'll find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. But it also gives work within the delusion. Just work within the delusion. Once you know that a motherfucker is delusional, you get a little nicer. You get a little bit more understanding. There's a bit more compromise that can happen there. And honey, you'll just be able to see what you can do. But, like, I'm pretty sure, let me do my math real quick, because where's compromise? Compromise is with Venus. Venus is in Leo. Bitch, we talking about some Pisces shit right now. And honey, like, that's giving, like, what? Is that a misunderstanding? Yes. That's a whole in conjunction by itself. So there, honey, that's the misunderstanding. Once you get past the misunderstanding, it could just be more of a support than the initial misunderstanding. How you have that one person that you couldn't stand that motherfucker to begin with. But once y'all got past that misunderstanding, it's like this motherfucker just becomes another part of the situation. For good or for bad. All right, y'all.